Hi and welcome to my channel. So now is the best time, in fact the perfect time to get a job in the UK. So whether you're already in this country or you're still out of the UK looking for visa sponsorship, there's never been a better time to move to this country than now. But guess what? The competition is the highest it has ever been in the history of this country. But also, as the competition is high, let me tell you something. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you finally struggle to apply for jobs, get an interview, and then that interview is unsuccessful. Yes, it is a learning experience, but if you can just pass your interview the first go, get a job, and move on, that is the perfect circumstance and the perfect situation that you want to be in. And so in today's video, I'm going to be telling you 3 of the top reasons why more and more people are being rejected after an interview. This is something that I have kind of collected this information after 13 years of my own experience going through interviews in the UK. And guess what? I have been successful through every single interview that I've had since I moved to the UK. And when I say this, I mean job interviews, because I started as a carer and I now work as an advanced nurse practitioner, which is the most senior clinical nursing job. So I know what I'm talking about. So if you haven't joined this family, hit the subscribe button below, because you want to be the first person that is notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. But first, I want to hear, where are you watching this video from? So drop a comment in the comment section with your country, just so it will give me a perspective whether you're looking to switch, which means you're already in the UK, or indeed you're still out of this country, looking for new opportunities to move, because I'm all about free opportunities to move to the UK without spending thousands of pounds, as well as career progression in the UK. Because for me, the only objective moving to this country is to work less, earn a lot of money, and get to retire early. You don't want to be worse off here than you were back home. I keep repeating this because there is power in words. So if you need to contact me, you need one-to-one guidance, you need to talk about your own specific circumstances, check the comment section below. You're going to see my WhatsApp number as well as my email address, and you can contact me at your earliest convenience. You're also going to see my newsletter in the comment section. It's free to join. You drop your name and email, and you're part of that newsletter, so that I send that information directly to your inbox, so you're not reliant on the YouTube algorithm and mercy. So what is really happening when it comes to jobs? Let me tell you, the UK has so many vacancies, but guess what? Many employers are very weary, especially if you need visa sponsorship, because many people have no idea what they're doing or what's going on. That's the first reason. So the first reason for interview rejection or unsuccessful interviews is that many people are turning up during interviews and they've got no idea. Let me tell you something. You can get someone to do a CV for you, and that can get you some luck in getting an interview. But when you show up at that interview, you better know what you're talking about, because if you don't, I tell you, the interviewers are going to find out. This is really what's happening. I have done, loads of interviews in my own journey, interviewing other people, sitting as a panelist during interviews, and you get to see the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to interviews. And also having a private career coaching program where I offer one-to-one support with interview preparation. I've got a lot of experience in this, and I'm saying this because I've had people who come to me, they have no idea about a particular job. I tell them about the job, prepare them for the interview, they're successful, and they're like, oh my God, Melvis, I would never have imagined something like this. And this is why getting that support is very crucial. But you need to know what your own circumstances are. You need to understand the type of learner that you are. Some people pick up things really quick, other people need a lot of time. So when you assess your specific circumstances, then that can help you immensely to be able to know what are the resources that you need to better support yourself for your specific circumstances. Look, YouTube is good, but the information is very generic, and that's why many people are going to watch YouTube video after video after video, and guess what? They're going to get only more confusion than when they started watching the videos. So leave a comment in the comment section below and say, Melvis, I will implement this, because implementation is key. The things that I talk about, on my channel, they're not easy things to implement. There are things that take time. Some of them take years, they take decades, and many of us are impatient. We don't want to hear that, but that is a reality. You need to put in real effort if you want success. So the first thing is your CV. You need to know what is on your CV, and you need to be able to back it up. Many people are not able to. You also need to know information about the job that you're applying for, obviously, because if you don't, I mean, what are you going to be talking about during the interview? So again, That's why I say this is the number one reason. By the way, if you want to find out more information about my private coaching program that I was talking about, which is not for everybody here, obviously, everything that I do is only for the top 1% of people. I know that because everybody wants the best for themselves, but guess what? Very few people will go ahead to really put themselves forward and put in the effort that is needed. So if you're one of the people that make up the top 1%, check the description box somewhere below or the about section of this channel and you see information about my private coaching program. But like I said, if you check the comment section below, you can contact me directly to talk about your specific circumstances. So another thing also is that some people don't have an idea because they're not able to use their transferable skills. There are people that have a degree, but they don't know how to use their degree to their advantage. Other people even have a lot of experience, but they don't know how to use that experience to their advantage. Let me tell you something. Every knowledge that you acquire is knowledge that is useful, is knowledge that is helpful. You need to be able to use that knowledge to your own advantage. That's what is called transferable skills. And I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below and say, Melvis, transferable skills. So transferable skills, leave a comment in the comment section. It lets me know that you watched the video till now, but most importantly, that you're focused and you're following up what we're saying, because these are the things that will not only help you to get your first job in the UK or your second job or your third job, but it's going to catapult you to the top of whatever career that you choose. It doesn't matter the career that you're into, these rules, these things that I'm sharing are going to apply to every single job and every single career. You need to know how to use what you have to get what you want. That's what I'm saying. So the second thing is words. Words are very powerful. When it comes to visa sponsorship, many of those jobs that offer sponsorship are healthcare related. Healthcare is a very delicate sector, especially in a country like the UK. What do I mean? You need to know the words that are a no-no, that you must never use. You need to know words that are unacceptable to use, and you need to know words that are not appropriate to use. So what do I mean? It may be very inappropriate for me to use some of those words in today's video because I don't know who's watching. I don't know what your circumstances are. I don't want anybody to be offended if I use those words. But for the purposes of this video and just to give an example of something that is, really, how do I put it, that I can use as an example, obviously, is, let's say, there are lots of words, but let me say, let me think about like dementia. That's something that I can think of, because if you're in healthcare, no matter where you work, whether it's mental health, learning disabilities, adults, wherever, you're likely going to come in contact with somebody who has been diagnosed with dementia. Did you see how I said somebody who is diagnosed with dementia? It's very different from saying somebody who is suffering from dementia, because again, there are ways that you can use your words and show some empathy by just using the right word. So interviews, you need to make sure that you know which words are appropriate, which words are not appropriate. And if you're an overseas candidate, it's even more important, because there are certain things that back home are completely normal, but in the UK, they're like taboos. If you say that, people are going to be like, what? You're using this word. But like I say, I can't use them on YouTube. There is a lot of information that is not YouTube content. But if you're a member of my private coaching program, we go through this information during our session on Thursday to make sure that you know those words that are a no-no and those words that are appropriate to use in what circumstances. Because there are also some words that in certain circumstances are inappropriate, but in other circumstances are. This is one thing that many people, especially if you're new to a particular industry, you're new to a sector, they struggle with. And so when you're sitting in an interview and you hear somebody using some kind of words, you're like, oh my goodness, no. Many people use those words worse still on the CV. Let me tell you, if such words are on your CV, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get an interview in the first place. But thinking back to point one, some people may get lucky to get an interview, but if you don't know what's expected at the level of the interview, you still may not be successful. So you need both your application to be absolutely spot on as well as your interview skills. And then, be that person when you eventually start work, because you don't want to paint a different picture during the recruitment process. You turn up to work and they're like, oh, I think we made a mistake. No, you want to live up to your expectation. I'm somebody that As a nurse myself, I like clinical excellence. I like people that understand policies, they understand values, they know why they're there to do their job, they understand the type of patient group that they have. Because what I always say is think about your own relatives. If that person that you're caring for was your mom, was your dad, was your child, was your husband, your wife, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, would you like them treated the way you are treating that person? If you ask yourself that question as a healthcare professional, you are going to provide personalized and individualized care, which is what we should all be providing. So, excellence is something that it's a must as far as I'm concerned. So, number three is questions. Again, number three is quite similar to number two, but very different. Inappropriate questions. Look, there are some people that in an interview scenario, they don't know what to ask, what not to ask, and all that. If you ask the wrong question, even if your interview has been the best they've ever seen, I tell you that you will not be successful. Not because you didn't perform well, and that's why sometimes you can go for an interview, you come out, it's like, how was the interview? That like Melvis, it was absolutely amazing. But I don't know why I didn't get this job. But it's just that one last question that you ask at the end. Like at the end of the interview, they say to you, hey, have you got any questions for us? You need to be very careful what you ask, because most people, that's where they fail the interview. And to know that you've watched till this moment, I want to leave a comment in the comment section below and say interview questions, because the question that you ask at the end of the interview is going to make or break that particular experience and whether you've got the job or not. So one of the things I also want you to do is, what is the best question to ask during an interview or the end of the interview when they say to you, Melvis, have you got any questions to ask us? What's the best question for you to ask? I would like you to leave that in the comment section below, and I'll be able to tell you, is this a good idea or is this indeed a bad idea? Because let me tell you something, there are very few questions that are good to ask. Very few. Most of the questions, you're going to put yourself in a very, very difficult position. And this is what many people are doing. But they don't realize it, obviously. So again, this is why you need to make sure that you're thinking critically, very carefully about this process, especially as somebody who wants to work in the UK. And by the way, I'm now talking with my nurse management and manager hat, because when I'm here doing a YouTube video as a coach, Coach Melvis, I'm a different person. When I'm talking to you as a friend, I'm a different person. When I'm thinking as a manager, you would not recognize me, because I like excellence when it comes to jobs. Who are you? What's the job about? You need to know everything and really be on sleek. And that's why, if you're a member of my private coaching program, I'm very, very strict when it comes to that interview preparation. What should you say? What are the questions you can ask? What can you not ask? What should you not be asking? And all of that. So if you've watched till now, I appreciate your time. If you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please do share with them. Encourage them to keep on improving. If you're already working, you need career progression. You still need to keep improving on your skills. I'm not perfect myself. I'm continuously improving on my skills, despite the fact that I have been successful in every single interview since I came to the UK. I think it's because, I'm very thoughtful. I'm very intentional about my career. I don't do anything because, I'm going to do this by chance. No, everything is planned meticulously, and I know exactly what my next steps are going to be. I have my bucket list. I know that when I do this, I go to this, and that's how your career should be. You cannot just be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'll see where the word leads me. No, it doesn't work. You have to have a goal. You have to have an objective. You have to think about yourself in 10 years and say, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? Do you see yourself working as a carer, domiciliary care, in a care home? Where do you see yourself? That puts everything into perspective, and it pushes you to make sure that you're making the right decision. So if you're enjoying this content, by the way, hit the like button below. It lets me know that I enjoy content like this, and obviously I should do more. Like I say, this video, I'm talking as a nurse manager, obviously, which is always an interesting hat to wear, but it is very good because it brings out the point, because this is how people are going to assess you. Because when they're looking at your application, they're not going to think, oh, this one needs a job, let's just help them. They're struggling, they need visa sponsorship. Oh, no one cares. No one cares. So you need to up your game. You need to make sure that you're cutting your T's and you're dotting your I's. I hope you found this helpful. Just leave a comment and say, Melvis, I watched this till the end. Because when you're asking any questions, I know that you've put in the time and effort to be able to watch it till now. So drop a comment in the comment section and say, Melvis, I watched till the end. If you need to contact me, check the comment section below. You see my contact details and check this out.